And welcome to the big night that everybody has been waiting for here in the HCK Beagles League. They got a sponsor here tonight, and that's the EMD Printing 200 at Daytona. So this is going to be a long one, but you know what? Excuse me, this is from Talladega, not Daytona. What am I doing? I'm going to have to change the name of that. But either way, big race. All the marbles are on the line here. And Mr. Alan English joining me here in the booth. Man, we're gonna see some cars go around here and look pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's been a great season so far. HCK Beagles, these guys, you rarely see a league this well put together, and they know how to do this super speedway racing right. As we see a lot of green flag laps out of these guys, and it's exciting. We're gonna finally see a champion here for the first season.
And down there on pit road, we got Adam Turner, and man, Adam, it's all coming down to this one race. I mean, we're going to take a look at the standings here in a second, but man, talk about leaving it all on the line here.
Yeah, we got a couple guys, you know, and you're going to mention them. That's all for the money. This thing is for money. I think there's $140 on the line for the champion of the league tonight. They're going to put their heart and soul out there. And Talladega, Talladega always makes for fun, and I think we're going to see the big one, near the end while they're racing for that final push to get all that money. They got 3 fast repairs here in this league. I think we're looking at 100% fuel, I believe, and then we're going to do 75 laps, and it is 117 degrees out on the track right now, so we'll see if that, makes an impact on these guys at some point.
As we'll now take a look at kind of the track details at Talladega here. Been here a few times already, but always good to kind of remind everybody of this 2.5 mile massive track. And like you said, it is nice and toasty out there. And our key of the race is got to leave it all out there. Final race. You don't carry anything over to the next week. This is it.
Yeah, you can't hold anything back. It's time to go. It's time to be aggressive, especially late. You mentioned it. This is a much longer race than these guys usually run. The normal length is 55. We're running 75 laps, so right at 200 miles here for the EMD Printing 200 Championship race.
Yeah, and I think that's going to play maybe a little mental game with some of these guys. That's 20 laps is nothing, you think, but they're ripping off 2.5 miles a lap, so it kind of adds up, or 2.66, I'm sorry, a lap, so it adds up, and that's a lot of wear and tear and fatigue on your mind and all that concentration and stuff these guys are going to have to do working in that draft.
As we do kind of move along and take a quick look here at the standings, and you can see Brandon Eastman has a 10-point lead over Kevin Winker right now, so I mean, if you're going to kind of pick favorites here, I'm thinking Brandon's going to be it, but still, at these plate tracks, anything can happen. So I mean, Kevin Winker's in there with a shot, Eric Stoy's in there with a shot, same thing with Michael Reynolds. I mean, all these guys, just a bad race from Brandon and a good race from any of these guys, man, it's all up for grabs.
Yeah, even the Staton boys ain't too far out of it. 246, 247, just a couple points off of Michael Reynolds. Him and Eric Stoy tied for third, as you mentioned. Everybody kind of up there, let's see, probably top 8, all within striking distance. Anything's mathematically possible, I guess, for the top few. But Eastman's been so strong this year with picking up a couple of wins, him and Winker both. So it's not over, but it's going to be a tall hill to climb for some of these guys if they're going to challenge for that lead.
Yeah, let me ask y'all, if you're Brandon Eastman, you have a good-sized lead. I wouldn't say it's insurmountable, but how would you play this race safe, or how would you play it? I mean, it's hard to play Talladega because Talladega will play you.
It's just
in the end.
It's just such a long race. It just depends. If you're talking pit strategy, you got to be I pit every time I could if there's going to be some cautions early. Track position's not critical until later on down the road when this thing is getting a little bit closer to the end. Now, you do want to stay on the lead lap, whatever you do. So that's kind of one of those things. Pit as much as you can, but stay on that lead lap.
As these drivers go around and finish up their qualifying times, and to my point of view, Mr. Turner is going to be. If I was him, knowing the kind of lead I got, I would take it easy at least the first half before trying to make my move up. I mean, these guys do have some fast repairs. However, I really don't want to be using them.
Yeah, that was kind of my mindset. I think we're talking a little bit before the race, and he gets top 10 or higher. Isn't that correct? He's probably locked in there.
Yep.
So, but like I said, Talladega can. It's like fool's gold here. You can 1 minute you're the champ, you're going to be the chump the next minute because of a crash. So that's going to be one of the cool parts of watching this championship race.
As you mentioned, there's a lot at stake, and Joe Poole joining us on Facebook, saying, "Let's race. Good luck, boys." Nice to have you here again, Joe. Championship race. It seems like this season just got going, but it's been 10 races long. This is race number 10. So,
yeah, EMD Printing. Thanks for sponsoring this race, and I think they were talking about something about 15% off, for league members or something like that. You might want to check that out.
If you mentioned you watched the race tonight and saw them sponsoring the race, they'll work with you on your checkout. Check them out. They're an American company. They're a company, I believe they're down in Florida, and they do a lot of promotional items, printing. I think they do mugs and stuff. Go check them out. If you look at the M.TV Facebook page, we did link their Facebook page, so you can get in there and read about them. If you've got a small business, I mean, promotional items are a big deal, especially going to trade shows and that kind of thing. So give them a look on Facebook. Let me see if I can find that link.
Yeah,
and they're also
all kinds of stuff.
They're also at eastmoredesigns.com, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, eastmoredesign.com. That's what I'm looking at right now. Just business cards, door hangers. You name it, they got it for your printing needs, and you need that if you own your own small business. And you get a little break if you're watching a race and want to mention that you saw it here. So get over there and check that out.
And also another big thanks to Paints by Special Ed, our very own
Ed Murray. Yeah,
Ed Murray. He's been putting in the work all season long, so definitely got to appreciate that. So go check him out on the trading paints and whatnot, and go give him some love as well, as qualifying's just about to finish up here, so our grid's just about set. I don't think anyone else is going to be out there taking any laps, and man, we're getting ready to get this party started.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this. The butterflies are continuing in my stomach as we get ready to watch these guys grid up here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be extra long. If y'all are out there, you probably need to put a cooler next to you or something, because this is going to be a little bit longer than your normal one. And but we've seen nothing but clean racing all year. No fights, no scraps. I mean, these guys get along. And for a first season, I think these guys have done a tremendous job, HCK Beagles Racing League.
And that they have. Drivers are getting in their cars and getting ready to go and take this green flag to get it all going. So let's run through and tell you where everybody's going to be starting here today. And that's Mr. Eric Stoy picking up the pole position here, with Joshua Moore going to be on that outside starting in second. Third, we've got Brandon Eastman, so be on the lookout for him. Doesn't look like he's going to be starting from the back. He's taking the bull by the horns with Kevin Winker on his outside. You got in fifth, Cody Staton with Rob Chowdhury. Excuse me, as my typing is very small. He's going to be starting there in 6th. Eddie Murray here in 7th with Stumpy in 8th. 9th, we got Zachary Staton, and in 10th, Henry Wyndham.
69, Little Rimmer. Gregory Turner starting in 11th. The 18 of Owen Altabello in 12th. 46 of Tim Rivers, going to be rolling off 13th. The 45 of Michael Reynolds in 14th. The 12 of Austin Johnson. He's one of those guys that's pretty quick driver. Watch for the 12 of Johnson tonight as well. He's rolling off 15th. The 3 of Brad Mashburn in 16th. And the 5 of Robert Parrott in 17th.
Yeah, I mean, what do we have? 17 cars out here. That's a pretty good stack for this thing's almost wrapped up championship wise, and maybe a couple guys couldn't have showed up. They weren't going to make money, but it should make for some really good racing, some good pack racing, all the fun stuff we like to see here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Greg Turner on Facebook saying, "Let's go, Brandon." He's pulling for Eastman tonight. Bailey Hughes, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. I don't think Stone Hutchinson's going to be here tonight. And then, yeah, thanks for you guys watching on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Appreciate y'all.
Stone Hutchinson, I wish he was here.
Oh, I know his fans do.
Yeah, he had a fan club. This guy's so good, they're showing up, and he's not even here.
Yeah, the Stone Army showing up, and their leader not here today. But you know what? That's all right. He will be
glad to have him.
Good to have you guys around, and we will definitely miss Stone here, as we've enjoyed watching him race. And right now we got a field of 17 other trucks here that are all rearing and ready to go, coming down that backstretch, following that pace car, getting ready to take this thing to that green flag. And I mean, we've said it before, those butterflies are probably shaking for Brennan and like Kevin Winker and all the guys that have a shot. But I mean, if you're some of these guys that are an outlier, man, you kind of really don't care. You can just gun for it, and whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
Take a deep breath here and calm yourself down. It's a long race, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But hey, if I'm in the back, like you said, Brown, I'm gonna let it rip, man. I'm not gonna play favorites with anybody. So we'll see if we see any of that tonight.
As that pace car is going to be coming out of turn number 4 in just a second and peel off down pit road. Eric Stoy, Joshua Moore going to start us off. And interesting to see Joshua Moore up front. Normally he's helping out and pushing some of the teammates around here. But you know what? He's going to try to make his own luck go right at the start here. And but you know, we've seen the Lazy Susan plate tracks go around here quite a few times, so you know, all we can do is sit back and wait and see as the green flag starts waving, and these guys are now underway, off and running in this EMD Printing 200. Looks like both lines got a solid start there, nothing too crazy, a little bit of a tail off kind of there towards the end on that inside line, but everyone's still going. That outside line needs some help getting back together, but man, these trucks, we've said it once before, they punch such a big hole. That's really not going to be too much of a problem, as Joshua Moore getting a big push there from Kevin Winker. He's going to be able to keep up and stay up at that front.
Thanks, Amy Turner, for supporting Brandon Eastman too on Facebook. She's pulling for Brandon tonight. Yeah, I think a lot of what's going to happen here early, guys are going to be careful. They might even do some single file around here because they know it's a long race. So they're just going to kind of try to stay with the lead pack. We may have a secondary pack develop, but like you said, these trucks are so drafty that they shouldn't really have too much of a problem staying together.
Well, and we do have a secondary pack here, 15 on back. Austin Johnson is leading that pack in the number 12 car. So they may be on a little strategy there, kind of maybe staying with it, but in avoiding a wreck or whatever that could happen in front of them. So looks like they're just kind of hanging with them.
Yeah, and I was kind of expecting, like you seeing this thing go single file pretty quickly. Man, they're holding this too wide, and I don't think they're going to be willing to let that up anytime soon.
Well, it's a good experiment too for later. I mean, maybe you're not really chasing positions big time right here, but maybe you're just testing it out and kind of testing the waters, dipping your toe in there a little bit, and saying, we're going to be too wide later. Might as well just kind of ride around too wide, see how it feels, see what trucks you want to be around. These guys do have 9 races under their belt so far together this season, but it wouldn't hurt to ride a few laps around here, see who's comfortable tonight.
Yeah, I think we're having a connection issue with Owen Altabello in the 18 car. Hopefully he can hang in there, maybe put some foil on it. We experienced that the other night, right? Sometimes the Wi-Fi or internet causes problems in this simulation.
I'm not sure that foil on the bunny ears is going to apply in the situation. Well, it might work. I don't know.
I tend to believe it would work.
It's on my old 13-inch black and white.
Yeah.
As Eric Stoy and Brandon Eastman and Cody Staton kind of lead the charge there on that inside line. Got a nice little gap forming up to that outside line, so things are starting to stagger a little bit. I think that inside line's been staying really close together. I mean, you've seen Brandon right there on that bumper of Stoy for quite a while. I think he might actually have to start worrying about temperatures here in a little bit because, man, he hasn't moved from that position.
Well, I mean, what's interesting here, I mentioned that secondary pack. Austin Johnson looks like ripped the fastest lap so far, and they're sitting in a pack of 3 cars. So what does that tell y'all out there on the...
Yeah, that cat's quick. Speaking of cats, Blanche Arrington on Facebook saying, "Go cat, go," to Brandon Eastman. She says, "This is from Nanny." So go Brand, go from Nanny Blanche.
And so
we appreciate all y'all watching.
Man, there is absolutely no space between Eastman and Stoy's bumpers right there, as that top line managed to find a little bit of a run there, and they're getting all back together and trying to pull on ahead and maybe make a move down towards that inside line right in front of Stoy, but they just losing a little bit of momentum in that corner.
Yeah, and the 42's been on the back bumper, that 51, for quite a while. You mentioned some overheating issues may start building up here. These guys really do got to keep an eye on those gauges. And you see a little flash in red on a gauge in your peripheral, you better stick your nose out there and cool it down.
Yeah, but what's crazy is like y'all said, this looks like a real NASCAR race. Nobody's giving an inch. They're too wide, just kind of going through the motion, putting those laps in, and really, really clean, which is the cool part about it.
Well, these guys have shown us all season how clean they can run. And Superspeedway is notorious. If you watch the NASCAR, the real-life NASCAR guys get on iRacing and run around at a Superspeedway, it's usually a disaster. But these guys know how to do it. They're clean. It's give and take, and these guys understand that.
It's really the kind of top 6 haven't changed all that much. I mean, actually, all the way down to 10th, there's really been no change. Everyone's, maybe gaining a spot, maybe losing one, but, other than that, nothing crazy has happened. As it looks like Austin Johnson in that kind of chase group was able to catch back up fairly quickly. So we got all our drivers all within 1.5 seconds of each other. So, man, 16 cars all under that blanket.
The 39 and the 15 are loving this because let the 20 burn the fuel, because the lead car in each line is going to burn a lot more gas than the guys running behind them. The guys running behind them, they might be running 3/4 throttle. Sometimes you're running half throttle. So those cars leading these lines, they're burning the most fuel right now for sure.
I'm going to tell you who's burning zero fuel. That's Robert. I think it's Parrot. Number 5 car. He just hadn't come out of the pits. He might have started and parked this thing.
I wonder if he's doing admin duties here tonight.
Yeah, it could be, but he's not using any gas. That's the main thing. I like to conserve fuel, and he's doing it right.
Through turn 4 one more time. We're going to be coming to lap 9 of 75, approaching that 10 lap mark, and we're kind of discussing it earlier. I mean, it looks like these guys, unless something crazy happens, as they're that top line looks like they're starting to inch their way down a little bit, get a little closer to that inside line, and you know, I'm thinking these guys are going to pit right around like 30 or 35 or so.
So I guess that wouldn't be splitting it in two. Are they hoping for a big one there at the end, maybe, so they can get some more fuel and maybe tires if they want them?
Well, they may get that towards the end of this race, just because you just mentioned guys coming down doing a little side drafting. Well, that's going to increase exponentially as we get closer to the end of this race, and I just have a bad feeling when that kind of stuff happens, because you'll get guys moving down to side draft the inside line. You got inside guys that are moving up to side draft the outside guys, and if they do it at the same time, 2 trucks cannot occupy the same space, if you know what I mean. So we've seen it happen. Not a whole heck of a lot with these guys, but it's championship night. I mean,
well, they do talk about it in their race meetings. Don't side draft in the corners, only on the straights. And they will penalize you for some things here. So everybody minds their P's and Q's pretty well. But once you get past lap 70, I think it's all out the window.
Yeah, pretty good job of, like you say, telling these guys, hey, don't be too aggressive. Don't side draft in the corners and stuff, just to, mitigate some of the risk there. And yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's very important to lay ground rules before you start a race like this, especially an important one ending this first season.
Yeah, it's important, all right. It's for money. $140 goes to the champion of the league, and I'm pretty sure somebody would like $140 in their pocket just for doing some a little bit of iRacing simulation.
Yeah, no, I most certainly would. I would love that, as these guys keep moving along. Looks like that bottom line's breaking up just a little bit, but still they're doing a great job of keeping it relatively close together, and seeing this pack kind of scattered in the back, but they might be playing it very, very safe. They may not enjoy everything that they see up ahead, and leaving a little extra space for maneuverability if something were to happen. And
whoa, 42 dropping down there.
42, Kevin Winker getting tired of being up there on that top line.
We got a little bit of movement up front there.
There's that
the most we've seen.
There's that little merry-go-round Lazy Susan thing you were talking about.
Yeah, so Eastman and Stoy move up to the top line, and so that's going to give Cody Staton the lead on that bottom line. And man, he's being pushed by that 42.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of wiggling. We were just talking about maybe some of the guys running that second pack don't really like what they're seeing up front. Is we see a little bit of back and forth wiggling action, but 51.
Ooh, as a
33 on the apron.
51 of Moore coming down. He had the room, and he definitely used it, but that caused that inside line to get a little squirrely, as that upset the air just a little bit. But man, He's still got Brandon and Eric up there on that outside line, still putting in the work, still putting in the effort. Oh, as looks like the 39 going down below the yellow, little squiggly, and we got someone falling back. I believe that's Brandon Eastman. He's fallen all the way back. I wonder if he just got out of line and is gonna have to try to fight his way back up, or if this is a strategy call after, you know, like we
didn't get hot.
Like we just said, of he might not like what he sees up there, and it's like, I'll take a break here for a second.
I watched him, the 33 of Special Ed Murray. Sorry, Adam. He kind of got on the apron a couple times there and got a little wiggly, but Ed able to hold on to it.
Yeah, I've been watching the 45 of Michael Reynolds in 16th place. He's just hanging with him, man. I like this guy's strategy. Let it happen in front of you. At least you're going to have an opportunity to avoid whatever that is. So he's just hanging in the back and waiting for his move.
Cody Staton leading this thing up 4 positions from his starting position. Zachary Staton not quite as lucky. He's still holding on to 7th, up 2 spots from where he started. A little shuffling around up there.
And even though we do have a long way to go, as Kevin Winker on that outside gets a big push, that's kind of the big one to watch for, is the difference between Winker and Eastman. And right now, that is greater than 10 positions. So if this thing ended right now, Winker would be your champion of the year.
Well,
Charlie Anderson on there pulling for Kevin Winker, the 42. She's sure hoping that he's able to stay up there. Eric Story got a fan. Mike Smith on Facebook. Thanks for watching, Mike.
yeah, there's a lot of people watching, I think, tonight. Just championship race. These guys are going to put together a season 2, and they're looking for sponsors, and they're going to do some recruitment races. If you're looking for a super speedway league with these guys and trucks, I mean, look how clean this has been. They really work well together, and they put on quite the show.
Oh boy, as the 51 kind of getting a little squiggly there, and manages to keep it down on that bottom line before a catastrophe happens up there at the front. But you can definitely see now why Brandon might have said, I'm going back.
Yeah, and Joshua Moore in that 51, he's up there trying to get to his teammate. That's the Dr. Pepper Racing team of Moore, Winker, and Tim Rivers. Tim Rivers in that 46, not quite up there yet. Dr. Pepper boys wanting to stick together, I'm sure.
It's all about your, a track like this. Who are your friends? Who are your foes? Right? Who's your neighbor? Who do you like? Who don't you like? So it's good to have teammates near you in a big giant plate track like this.
Track's still pretty hot, 115 degrees. Track surface temp, so maybe if this was Miami or somewhere, that would matter a lot more. As these super speedway trucks on a super speedway like this, they stick pretty good. I mean, look at all the centrifugal force and downforce and stuff they've got. Between the banking and the aero package. So I don't think these guys are gonna be screaming for tires.
Yeah, don't you think you could really technically make an entire 75 lap run on one set of tires?
Yeah, if you didn't have to do full fuel loads, I mean, you probably stretch it to that. But the fact that they're going to have to come in and get a full load of fuel, I mean, you might as well throw some tires on it. I mean, you're using up all that time anyway. Or just do 2 at a time. Do 2 tire stops. We've seen that benefit people in the past.
As you can see, the 20 of Eric Stoy trying to get some sort of momentum going on that outside line. Once again, still a little broken up, but he's got a good little 4 cars kind of all in a line there. Just trying to catch back up to get to the front where he was for the first, about 10 laps or so before he and Eastman made a move to that outside line. So He's someone who may not be too thrilled about what's going on right now, but hey, still a lot of racing yet to go as we're not even at the third of the way mark.
It's somebody that started in 6th place and he's still there. The 408 Bay Area Rob Chowdhury, he's still hanging in up there. The second car back in that outside row.
Yeah, I mean, so far really, really smooth racing. They're not getting too racy too early, you know. So it's fun to watch. I mean, it looks like a real, actual NASCAR event here so far. What we're looking at.
Some of the views that iRacing has are so cool. It looks like you're in the spotter stand for a couple of these, you know.
And you can see from miles over the big burns here of Talladega. Drove by it in the old 18-wheeler one day. I'm like, really? That's it? It doesn't look that big. And then you get a little closer to it and you're like, that's pretty big.
Yeah. They used to have a big truck that would run around at Talladega with a big American flag on the back of it. Y'all remember seeing that? Had a big old sleeper and everything on it. The fellow that drove that died here. I think may have been last year. The guy passed away that drove that truck around there, but that was always kind of neat to see on TV when they're getting ready to start the race. I want to be in one of these trucks, though, man. These things are clipping right along out there. You get them in a pack like this, you're going to do, 185 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're fun to drive. I mean, so I hear a lot of chatter there out there on the track, but I think they're just having fun right now. No fighting.
Oh yeah.
As everyone seems to be fairly calm out there, just plugging away the laps. Long way to go, long way to go. As we're coming to lap 22 here, and it's now just kind of a waiting game, seeing who pits when. As it's like Brandon trying to make his moves back up towards that front. He's slowly getting up there.
I think I saw Brandon Eastman drinking a cup of coffee as he went by. It doesn't look like he's really this really phasing him at all, falling way back and then working his way back up.
Maybe he did it for fun. I'm not sure, but he's definitely working his way back up there.
So if the outside line would just, I think if they were a little bit closer together, a little bit straighter, maybe they could make a little bit more run out of it as Eastman joins that outside line.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's working harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter because he's going from back to front, front to back. I guess he's just playing with these guys at this point.
Yeah, let's see if he can push the 88 of Zach Staton a little bit. Staton comes down and put a little side draft on the 51. You can do that on the straightaways. There's nothing against that in this league. They're going to take advantage of it, especially late.
And the other thing too is as these cars, they're starting to kind of really pick and choose what they want to do now. It's going to start checking up these lines just a little bit as, man, Brandon pushing Zach all the way up to the front. So I think Zach might get a lap lead here, and he does. Ooh, actually Kevin Winker just got him at the line.
That was dead close, though. They ran identical laps down to the hundredth of a second there. Wow. Incredible. Yeah, if you've got a small business and you're interested in getting your name out there, getting your company name out there, get a hold of these guys. Gregory Turner over there at HCK Beagles Racing League. You can find them on Facebook. You can send them a message on iRacing. Just look them up in the league directory. They got a Facebook page too, HCK Beagles Racing League.
Well, they didn't yesterday when Zuckerberg was erasing all the files. I'm sorry. I digress. Brown, what's happening out there?
Just a whole bunch of nice, clean, two-wide racing. That's pretty much all that's going on, as that inside line is kind of falling apart once again, and that outside line's actually coming together pretty nicely. Let's see if they can't make a big push here. It doesn't look like they will be able to, as that turn kind of came up on them fairly quickly. So they're just going to have to work back together and get that momentum once again, as we are now crossing that 1/3 of the way mark. And, you know, that's a fairly quick third of a race going through here.
Yeah, these guys are clicking right along. It looks like the two cars running up front here on the outside line are kind of alone right now. Owen Altabello is looking up there, though. He's going to get sucked up to the back of the Eastman here in just a second. These things just draft up so quick.
Yeah, you know, just looking at this track, I mean, it has like stripes, you know, so you know where your lane is. You don't have to guess. Makes it a little bit easier, you know, I think.
Yeah.
And you can kind of stay in your own lane, basically, and at least until the end. That's when you can put it on them and try to start fighting people in the hauler. But right now, we've seen nothing but, you know, playing karate in the garage with each other and making bunk beds. That's all these guys are doing right now.
As you can see, the 33 of Eddie Murray right behind Owen Altabello, kind of bouncing around on these bumps, and that just tells you how unsettling these trucks are. Kind of, you know, once when you're in the draft, you get all this different airflow going around. You know, it's just one thing, not quite in line, just like the 4 of Stumpy kind of getting a little bit out of line. They're able to bring it right back on in, and it's gonna upset these cars as they truck around.
Yeah, the 33 Special Ed Murray, he loves running right on that yellow line. And every now and then he gets a little bit of piece of the apron. Truck wiggles just a little bit, but I mean, the guy's been running up close to the front most of the day. So
heck of a first baseman. Loved him with the Orioles, and probably my favorite driver here.
Blanche Arrington on Facebook again, telling Brandon, get it done from Nanny. And then Greg Turner, I'm sorry, the other Greg Turner, saying, is the crowd chanting "Let's go Brandon" yet? Yeah, quite a few of them are.
And you know, he is managing his race fairly well here. I think he's keeping track of where Kevin Winker is and is trying not to drop too many spots compared to him. And if he does, he'll make his way back up if he needs to. But other than that initial drop-off that he did, he's been kind of hanging around up here in that top 10 pretty much all race long as these guys start to single file out. I wonder if it's getting to time to come down to pits, and these guys are kind of preparing for it, thinking, hey, I don't want to be on that outside when I need to come down.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm retired from my racing. I hadn't gotten one of these trucks in a while, so I wouldn't know what they're actually doing, or if they're just settling in, or maybe it's a little too loopy out there for them, or they're trying to get to the pits. English, what do you have for that?
For what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the end of that.
Oh, I'm just trying to see, why are they single filing out right now, you know?
Well, you might be onto something there, just prepping for pits, or approaching lap 30. Yep, here I think I hear a little radio traffic. Some guys are hitting the apron right now.
Yeah, we got a whole slew of trucks coming down pit road. Brandon Eastman, Gregory Turner, Eddie Murray, Eric Stoy, Stumpy, Austin Johnson, and Michael Reynolds all coming down. So that dang near split our field dead in half.
Look at the big brains on Brown. You had that figured out. You could tell what was happening.
So checking out our sponsor one more time, EMD Printing. This is, after all, the EMD Printing 200. Checking out their Facebook page. These guys do custom tumblers with any kind of you can make one for your grandparents for Christmas. Put your company name on it. They have the 20-ounce sub-lamination tumbler where the label doesn't wash off. It's inside. So check them out. Eastmore Design, DBA EMD Printing, and what was the Facebook page? EastmoreDesign.com.
I believe so. Yes.
Check them out. Florida company.
Yeah, the rest of these guys are coming in, so they're split it.
That they are, and man, it got tight there on pit road. On that entry, almost had a little bit of an incident there, but everyone was able to figure it out. But even more kind of important here is those people that pitted that first go around, they didn't all come out together that well. So, you know, Brandon Eastman right now, he's kind of leading this thing off, but he's all by him lonesome. He's got Eric Stoy, Stumpy, and, you know, Austin Johnson kind of.
42's around. 42's in the wall. He's back below the yellow line. We're staying green. That's Kevin Winker. He's one of your front runners. He's got front end damage.
That's terrible. The cool tires, man. And 88, Zachary Staton had a terrible pit stop. He overshot his box like 2 times. So a lot of interesting stuff happening here.
51 has a lot of damage on the right rear as well.
Yeah,
Wow, nothing will mess up a field like a green flag pit stop at a super speedway, huh?
Gonna have to see what happens here.
42's motor just blew up, and the 51 rear-ended him. Oh man,
that looked like Joshua Moore was got loose as they were coming out on pit road. That's exactly what happened. His truck broke loose as he was trying to put the power down. 42 just gets shoved straight up into that outside wall and had really nothing he could do other than try to get that thing back going.
Check out the sportsmanship that's going on back here, though. The 51 is pushing the 42, trying to push him back to his pit bike. It didn't work.
It didn't quite work.
He spun him up onto the track and that brought up the yellow.
That's going to bring out the yellow.
Man, way to try, though, Josh. Nice try pushing the guy back, but didn't have a lot of toe time.
It's going to help out with a fast repair that's needed, you know. So, by Joshua Moore is going to need a fast repair. And hey, let's just let the dust settle. Really clean, super clean racing for 30-something laps. So, we're about halfway through it.
That we are. So, if you're any of these guys, even though you just pitted, you come down now, top off on that fuel. And just make sure you can make it to the end. And, you know, who knows, might have a green-white checker or something coming up. And track position, when it comes down to that, it's you got to be out in front.
Yeah, I'm loading up.
Yeah,
I'm even load up on tires, too. It's not going to matter. You're not going to lose many spots as long as you're on the lead lap. So, yeah.
Yeah, what's really going to hurt Winker is that he's going to lose a lap, maybe 2 laps here. You know, he's going to need another couple of cautions to get that lucky dog and get back up on the lead lap and have a chance, you know, because where was he in the points? Second in points, I think?
Yes, second in points, 10 points down.
Man, that's rough. Brandon, he's been leading this thing right now, though. He's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, I just listened to Brad Mashburn's radio. He's coming in, top off on fuel, in that super awesome Love It or Leave It USA paint scheme.
There you go.
That truck, yeah, that's America. We're at Talladega. This is America. And he's going to get him some Sunoco fuel. And I don't know if he's going to get tires, but he's going to at least top it off.
And looks like the top 5 are going to be staying out here.
Well, I guess you got to kind of... Yeah, you got to kind of go with the leader. If the leader comes in, I guess you're going to go in, right?
Yeah, the guys in the back are going to do the opposite, of course, as we see a bunch of the rear guys coming in, getting a little refreshment on them tires and fuel.
But nonetheless, either case, they should make it from this point on till the end of the race, as long as nothing crazy kind of happens here. And let's take another look at that standings, and you can just see. So that's heartbreak for Kevin Winker there, but now for Eric Stoy, I think he might be too many. 42. Just doing quick math here. I think he might not be math. I think he's mathematically kind of out of it. Same thing with Michael Reynolds, but
which truck are we looking at? Eric Stoy. So
Yeah.
Eric Stoy is 20. Oh yeah, we only have 17 cars here. He needs, even if Eastman finishes dead last, I don't know if Stoy can catch him.
and I forget
I don't
what
think he
bonus
will.
points do you guys get? Do they get here? I think they get one for leading a lap, probably one for most laps led. I mean, he would have to dang
He'd
near
have to
run the
get
gambit
every-
with.
I don't think it's going to happen. If there is bonus points, he needs every one of them, and he needs Brandon Eastman to wreck out, which that may start a riot on the social medias.
Is that going to be? Are you talking about fighting? I just woke. I just.
You just woke up? Is that what you're
No.
gonna
I was just looking over at the TV over here, and then I said I heard fighting, and I was like, oh man, I want to get involved in this. But no, I've been paying attention. This is a really good race so far, and hey, unfortunate that happened.
Joel Moore, we appreciate you watching on YouTube, saying, let's go Joshua. He's pulling for Joshua Moore. That
Yeah,
Dr.
he said-
Pepper 51. It's the Dr. Pepper team. That's not the Dr.
No,
Pepper.
it's the Mule Burger
Paint.
Custom Homes paint. That's what I was wondering what you're saying.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of a purple car, but Mule Burger Custom Homes. Hey, you guys want to be a sponsor? You got a driver. So we need sponsors for this. We're looking for sponsors, I think.
I got a cool logo, too.
Really, really cool racing league, and a guy that running it all, Gregory Turner. Good guy. Hit him up if you're interested in being a part of this series.
You know, they're going to have a longer season next season. I think they're trying to do 20 races instead of 10. I'm not sure if it's going to be a similar track rotation. There was some discussion about maybe add some tracks that kind of emulate super speedways like Michigan maybe, and a couple of ideas being thrown around, I should say.
Yeah.
But no details yet. Just know that they're working on next season, and it's going to be, if it's the same caliber of racing we see here, it's going to be a great second season.
Yeah, and they're very selective on their drivers, and they're going to do some recruiting races, I think, and
Yes,
stuff
sir.
like that. I think the second season will start after Thanksgiving, I believe is what I
We
heard.
have Thanksgiving, yes, sir.
So we got some time if y'all want to check it out and see if you want to be a part of this. Hit up Gregory Turner and the HCK Beagles Racing League. Coming into 3 there, Brown.
That they are, and they're all stacking up, ready to go back racing. And it looks like Kevin Winker is exactly 2 laps down, so he's looking for some 2 quick cautions that he's going to be able to keep his nose out of here to get back into the hunt of this thing.
It's going to be really tough, you know. But, hey, that's sometimes the breaks, right? But he's still in it. This is super speedway stuff. I know the pace car is coming off, Brown, but we got like another 3 miles before the start-finish line. It's kind of a funky track how this thing starts, but getting ready, though.
Yeah, that we are, as Brandon Eastman's going to lead us off here with Cody Staton going to be on that outside in second. And we're just getting ready to hear those engines rev up, and away we go. Brandon getting a huge jump there on that green flag, but it's really not going to help him because he's got absolutely no help right behind him. So these guys are going to catch right back on up fairly quickly. And he's kind of running that middle line, maybe trying to pick a line, whichever line's going to get to him first.
Here's how similar, iRacing is to actual racing. We saw this all weekend at the Xfinity and the Cup race. If you get a great restart, it doesn't really matter because you got to have the guy behind you have a good restart too. because you get too far out, and then here they come. They're going to make a big old run on you.
Yeah, the old freight train, and it happens here at these super speedways, so you got to work together, that's for sure.
Greg Turner on Facebook saying, I got Brandon's back up here at Camp Lejeune. Nobody better wreck that beautiful American flag on the back of the 39. I'm with you, man. Dennis Moore II also on Facebook saying, come on, Eastman, bring that EMD truck to Victory Lane, because Eastman up there running the race sponsor, EMD printing. He's running EMD's paint on his truck tonight. They're hoping to see it in Victory Lane.
That be? He's working real hard out there. I think harder than you know who.
Annabelle Peaches?
Yes.
Oh, man. Hang on to her, Ed. Ed got on that apron again, got a little wiggly. But he's good.
Oh, we got
still. Go ahead.
trucks kind of scattering all around in the back there as Stumpy on that outside line getting a big-time run and some big-time help from Eric Stoy. I mean, these guys aren't just going to hand Brandon the championship here with a race win. They're all still racing for something here.
M. Rivers up in the third truck back in that outside line that's actually starting to make a little ground now. One of the Dr. Pepper Racing team trying to stay with these front two trucks. What do you do if you're Stumpy right now? Do you jump down in front of Eastman? He's barely still clear.
Would. That's what we tend to see here.
Oh, man.
But it looks like he's going to go with the one that brought him.
Yeah, that's right, man. He's taking care of that truck behind him.
And, that he is as, he's maybe keeping in mind, what, if I dive down here, make a little enemy later, that might hurt some chances.
3 wide back here. Sorry, Brown. You got the 28, the 88, and the 51 all side by side here. The 88 has got, look who it is, Kevin Winker in the 42. Coming up with the 88 of State.
Yeah, he's created another lane. Let's just move it on up, boys. That's what they're doing here.
Moving on up with Wheezy. And it looks like they're dropping back down, back to 2 wide.
But you can definitely tell desperation starting to sit in a little bit for Kevin Winker in that 42, willing to go to great lengths to just try to get anything back that he can. Because, I mean, other thing to think about it too, right, is if he manages to get back up to the front, as they're going for it again out there on that outside, but the 408 of Bay Area Rob throwing I don't know if you want to call that a block, but drifting out to that outside, and they ran out of room pretty quick. But if Kevin Winker is able to unlap himself naturally and then a caution comes out, that's 2 laps right there.
The old Bill Elliott special.
Yeah. Bill Elliott did that here. That was at Talladega too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Twice, I think.
That's not easy to do. I don't know if we're going to see him do it, but
I think those days are over.
Yeah. But he's trying. That's for dang sure. Kevin Winker in the Menards 42 machine just looks like desperation at this point.
Winker, once he got that fast repair done, he's flying now. He's got an extra cylinder or something. Go ahead, Brown. I'm sorry, bud.
As we're now 35 laps away from finishing this thing, and for the most part, other than that little bit of a caution coming back from the green flag pit stops, I mean, these guys have raced pretty clean. I mean, we're starting to see 3 wide start to form up here once again there in that kind of middle of the pack.
Yeah, Staton and Winker working together a little bit, but you have to be very talented to be that close to the wall 3 wide. Because, like, all the movement, air movement that's going on, like, y'all talk about the huge hole of air that they punch in it just really causes a lot of movement in the truck. It's hard to keep it stable.
There we go. Zachary Staton on that outside line, getting that big run. I mean, there's just not 2 trucks up there anymore either. They got a solid 4 trucks running that outside line, and 3 trucks there in the middle with everyone else kind of sliding around in the bottom line. So we got not just a couple handful of cars here, but a whole group of everybody going all around here.
Staton, Winker, and Josh Moore, they are not giving up this outside line. They did have Rivers with them there for a little while, so you had the 3 Dr. Pepper guys and Winker out there on the outside.
This looks like your parade lap at your local dirt track is what. They're holding it together real well here. Full lap of 3 wide race, and that's pretty amazing. I mean, we're only 43 laps into a 75 lap race. We're 2/3 of the way done almost.
Just to show you how good these guys actually are, holding it 3 wide. Talladega's a wide track, but it gets a lot narrower when you get them 3 abreast like this. Here comes the outside line, getting a little bit more of a run. Not a whole lot of side drafting or anything going on just yet. 20 trying to make that truck as wide as he can as he's pushing Stumpy in the middle lane.
Yeah, how mentally fatigued are you already?
As we're almost 4 wide up here at the lead.
Yeah, and that's got to be causing a little bit of hurt on the old brain and hands when you're just concentrating that hard. And there's a lot goes into that.
Stumpy coming up here, the 20 dropping down in front of Eastman. So Stumpy, if he can hold that bottom line, probably be your new leaders that come back around, because Bay Area Rob's stuck in the middle by himself as the Dr. Pepper guys are standing up on the outside.
And you can just kind of see him pinballing against the airflows between the 2 lines, going up and down, up and down. He's just hoping for somebody to be nice enough to let him in somewhere so he can kind of regain. And if you're on that far outside line, you're hoping he finds a spot quickly too, because they're starting to lose a whole lot of ground as that whole pack kind of disintegrates.
Well, we talked about it. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just saying he's been left for dead out there. So, Bay Area Rob.
He could have jumped down in front of the 33, but that was a very narrow window, and he didn't trust that iRacing spotter.
He's down now. Go ahead, Mr. English.
Eastman's moving to the outside of the 20. He's got help from the 15 of Staton right now. Got to make something happen. Now, keep in mind, Brandon Eastman doesn't have to win this race in that EMD printing truck. He just has to get a decent finish, and he's pretty much locked. But he'd love to win this thing for his sponsor, for the race sponsor, to win the race and the championship at the same time. What a feeling that would be.
Yeah, no kidding about it, as they still getting a little squirrely. I think they're starting to kind of try to get a little closer to each other, get that little bit of extra side draft. And Brandon's been pretty smart. Yeah, he kind of led this thing for a little bit, but now that he's got someone right in front of him in Eric Stoy, he can sit back and save a little bit of fuel.
And they're just such a good pack. I mean, pretty much everyone's on the same lap except, unfortunately, Winker. It just sounds amazing out there on the track. Looks amazing. Really, really great finish to this HCK Beagles first inaugural season.
Well, they picked a good vehicle to run in this Gander Mountain truck, because it's fairly stable. It's still fast. They do great in a draft. I mean, if you could pick, one of the NASCAR platforms to run, the trucks was a great choice for some good close racing. This is a fixed setup league, so everybody's on a level playing field here. So that's one of the great things about this racing. And thanks again, Blanche, for chiming in, supporting Brandon. But this season's been a blast. I can't wait for next season.
Looks like Owen Altabello in the 18 Valvoline car. It looked like he might have put some foil on it and got a little bit better internet connection.
Maybe the foil trick did work.
Oh, it's a Haviland, but it's not as bad as it was.
You got to use the extra thick foil, like the grilling foil.
Yeah, no, get that real thick HEB foil.
Oh,
Yeah, no, as I say that, he's now, as I say that, they're mentioning how he's blinking even worse now, so keep an eye on that guy.
We X'd him.
Yeah, like the old jinx. We do that sometimes. Sorry, Owen. It's your internet connection, not me.
Love the old throwback paints, though, man. That Texaco Haviland paint scheme. We saw that a lot. Yep, yeah. Davey Allison. Among others, I think Rudd ran it for a little while. Ricky Rudd.
Yeah.
As Cody Staton on that outside line being pushed by Zach Staton, having some good luck getting that top line back up to the front there. As oh boy, as I believe that was the 33 once again going on that apron in the turn, and man, I'm worried that's gonna bite him here in a lap or two.
It's okay on the straights, but it makes me real nervous, especially like in turn 4 in the tri-oval when it happens. I'm like, oh no, hang on,
Yeah,
18-0 and Altabella a little bit on the apron too.
That tri-oval, for people watching at home on the interwebs, it's a little trickier than it looks,
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, you have to work it and finesse it a little bit, and it's just like another corner, actually, just in my opinion. So it takes a little skill to get through there.
You're really right. I never thought about that, but it's almost like the 5th turn, because it's not only where it's at on the track, it's before you get to the tri-oval, so I mean it's like the 5th turn, but the fact that it does have its own banking, it has a rough transition down to the apron. So yeah, that's a great way to think. I've never thought about it that way, but it really is like turn 5.
So these guys now do come out of turn number 4 and head into that tri-oval to head on to 25 laps to go. That would be 2/3 of the race completed. 1/3 of the race left for Brandon Eastman and his season championship. So, man, it's definitely go time.
Hey, look, 2/3 of the way. This is where, if you just started watching, you picked a great time to start watching, because now the aggression is going to start ramping up. The stakes are a little bit higher. It's going to be a great finish. And thanks for Amy Turner on Facebook for watching. She said this is the best Tuesday night entertainment. Go Brandon.
Well,
and Richie West pulling for Eric Stoy as well.
Did you English? Were you talking about? Or is hatred about to unleash?
No, I didn't say anything about hatred. I just said it's the stakes are high. Whatever I said.
I thought you said hatred. I'm happy to witness that.
You want to see helmets and hands flying, don't you?
I do. I'm guilty of that. I am guilty of that at Talladega. But these guys are really clean racers.
Well, the same thing goes for Kevin Winker. I'm betting he's wishing there'd be some helmets flying or something to pull out any sort of caution. Give him a styrofoam cup to throw out the window.
He's throwing water bottles, and he's taking parts off the dashboard, throwing out, trying to get a debris caution right now to get some laps back. I guarantee you. And thanks, Adam S., for watching us on YouTube. Appreciate the compliment, bud. Always enjoy it when you find our channel and give us a watch. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and the real show is the racing. We're just kind of the side act, and we love this type of racing. I know English,
it's my favorite.
You and I, plate racing is just amazing and really good time.
Because it's so unpredictable, except for these guys, of course, because they race so clean. But everybody's on a level playing field with a stable machine. They rotate tracks every week, so it's not monotonous, and you're at the same place every time.
And you really, as a mediocre average driver, you keep it clean, you have a chance to win every single week.
That's
you
right.
really do. You don't have to be some 5,000 iRacing guy. you can be just a middle of the road guy and win something like this. I know you've actually won some of these, so I know that's a fact.
Miracles can happen.
That's right.
Kevin Winker looking to the outside. I don't know if he's cooling down or if him and the Georgia Bulldog truck behind him, Tim Rivers, at 46, I don't know if they're planning on making a third line here. Or...
They might. His problem is he needs some help out there to really get that thing going. Doesn't take much. Only takes a couple trucks to really get something rolling, but he needs some help as he does roll out there on that outside and slides back in.
All right, this is a dumb question. I know the answer for me.
I'm going to give you a dumb answer.
Okay. Okay, does he have a teammate willing to take one for the team? Does he have a teammate willing to cause a caution? We know this happens. Don't lie about it. It does happen in real racing.
I was just about to say something similar, and that is, here's where you key up on the radio and say, all right, you guys on the outside right now, if y'all want to lift and let me around, and so I can get a lap back, you know, if I beat Eastman in the points, you know, I might kick a little...
Kick a little your way?
Yeah,
a little bit of that money?
Winnings your way.
That's not a bad idea, too. That's gambling type of stuff.
Man, that top line couldn't get close to each other's bumpers. You could just see how Winker and Staton and and I believe who's that up there in the 15?
You got Staton, and Winker right now.
Yep.
Tim Rivers behind him.
There's too many Statons. We talked about this. It's like a Wild West movie.
Somebody said yesterday there's too many Allens in the broadcast team.
Yeah, there actually is probably, but they're spelled different, so
go by
I
my middle
understand.
name, maybe.
Yeah, I go with the name of Mike Honcho usually.
Yeah.
So this Brown, man, this amazing what's happening out here. Keeping it super clean.
Oh, yeah, as we're now at 20 laps to go, and to be honest, I'm surprised that top line hasn't dropped a little closer to that bottom line to utilize that side draft anymore, as it looks like the 3 of Brad Mashburn there in the back is signing. He's had enough of waiting on that outside line. He's going to try to make some moves and maybe slice and dice his way up here kind of through the field, as looks like Zachary Staton kind of getting out there, and oh man, that top line's falling apart.
Oh man, he must have just enough aero damage too that
I think just the lifting of it in and of itself just kind of slowed him down.
69, a little rimmer.
Yeah,
making his way up here into the top 6 or 7.
He's got and Junk Racing number 69 truck. He's just kind of biding his time.
3 wide right here for about 6th spot. The 28's dropping back. That's Henry Wyndham. We hadn't mentioned his name much tonight, but pretty solid up there in the front there for a while. He's dropping back.
Yeah, we're single filing it again. Are we getting ready for another set of pit entrances, or?
We may have some that need to go. I'm not sure about the math here. I'm not sure if we're going to have everybody take it.
I don't think so, because I mean, if for example, Eric Stoy and Brandon Eastman all pitted on lap 29. Now, it's also assuming they're not pitting right when they are empty, and that they had, you know, a couple laps, because we saw a few people, you know, pit on lap 30 as well. I mean, plus then you add in the caution.
Here comes the outside line again as they reorganized, and they're making a run up there. Blanche, thanks so much for all your comments on Facebook. She's saying that Brandon, he's steady as a rock, and he's doing a great job up there pushing the 20 Eric Stoy.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit insider baseball information. I was listening to Gregory Turner and his team. It looks like he is going to come in for a pit fairly soon, so we'll be looking out for that as the high line starts moving on up.
I wonder how many guys in the field are going to take a pit stop And will it bring out another yellow? So you may have some guys out here that are just going to push to an empty gas tank, even though other people are pitting, just hoping for a yellow.
So now you start to play some games with Brandon Eastman and Kevin Winker there, knowing that he's essentially got that 2-lap cushion as of right now. What do you do if you're Brandon? Do you come down pit, be safe, or do you risk it for the biscuit and stay on out?
Even if he pits, I don't know. Let me see. When did the 42 last pit?
Do that Louisiana math?
He did. He pitted about the same lap, 30 and 31. Winker pitted on 31. So even if Eastman pits, he's not going to lose more than a lap to the 42. The 42 is not going to catch him, in other words. Man, I don't know. This is...
it's a mind game now, like Brown said. It's turning into...
As we start to...
Here comes Eastman.
Yep, Eastman, Stoy. You got, who else? Stumpy, Murray, Johnson, Greg Turner, all coming down.
Greg Turner just turned to 12.
Oh, hell.
Oh, that wasn't on purpose.
Austin Johnson. No, they just...
It's
hard to get your speed down, especially around other trucks.
Yeah. I don't think it's in the world.
A lot of takers coming down. So, yeah, if you're Winker right here, you stay out until damn near everybody else pits and hope for a caution. Corey Smith on Facebook saying, Stoy Boy, Fresh Boy, 69.
And I think that was a connection from teammates there. They're all on the same. Austin Johnson just come across the front end of Turner there and got the old pit maneuver.
And you can now see save it, you can do it. Ah.
Oh, the 18. Be careful, bud, there's guys behind you. That's where that relative comes in handy. But everybody dodged the 18, so that's good.
Everybody coming down except Bay Area Rob Chowdhury. He's staying on out.
He's moving on up.
Get a little camera time for that 408 truck.
He's always got a crazy paint. He changes
what is
it
it
up
this
all the
week?
time.
Let me see.
I think it's Fry's or something like that. Fry's Electronics.
Yep, Fry's Electronics. You got it.
It looks like he's going to be coming down pit road this time, hitting that apron. We now got the Statons all coming out. Same thing with Joshua Moore, Henry Wyndham, Kevin Winker. So we're all gonna get back to racing here, and we're just gonna have to see what kind of pack forms. As Brandon Eastman is currently sitting there in 5th. Again, really not too much of an issue championship-wise, but race-wise, he's gonna need to make sure that he's in that pack. Otherwise, he's gonna lose a little bit of time here, and it looks like he will make it into that pack.
So Rob Chowdhury came in eventually, and just for a split second, it looked like Kevin Winker might get one of his laps back, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, and somebody we hadn't talked about, and we've talked about him during this series, the 28 car, Henry Wyndham in the Rockstar Energy drink.
Sure.
He's sitting there at position 5, so he right behind Tim Rivers there, so he's working his way up.
Well, how about this pack? It reformed up front. 15 to 51. We got banging little fenders there for a second, trying to side draft each other, I think.
Yeah, Henry's now in 8th. They did a little
Eastman and
recycle.
Stoy. What a run Eastman's getting. Let's see if they can both get clear. They're going to try it.
Oh, they're almost there.
Oh, go ahead and drop down, Brandon.
Nope, not clear, not clear.
He's not leaving his buddy. That's loyalty right there.
You need that in a game like Yahtzee and iRacing.
Yeah, right you are.
Well, I mean, we've also seen it pretty much from the get-go. You've seen Brandon right there on that back bumper of Stoy's 20 truck, and I mean,
they worked together great tonight. I mean, One has been helping the other, and now there's a little bit of role reversal. We got some lap traffic coming up. The 18 of Altabello is low. Okay, he's going on the apron. He's letting him around. Good job, bud. And it's more sportsmanship. We've seen a lot of it tonight. The 51 trying to push the 42 to his pit box, and it didn't turn out like they wanted, but oh man, it's the thought that counts on that kind of stuff. And the 18 of Altabello to move down and let this big pack around. He could have went high and just stayed up by the wall, but he went ahead and backed out of it and got down on the apron. Austin Johnson, your last car on the lead lap right now. I'm sure he's hoping for a caution too, so he can kind of catch back up to the field. He's a little bit behind right now.
Yeah, it's actually, we've kind of got just this small pack of 5 or 6 cars, 5 cars per position. You also got Kevin Winker up in there too, so you got 6 cars, and then you got a 10-second gap all the way back to 6th, and that's just growing because it doesn't look like those guys are quite all together. They are single filed though, so they should be making up some time, but it does not seem to be the case.
Yeah, when you get enough cars single file very close together, especially in like the hosted races, I think we've done quite a few of those Mitchell Qualls races. You're actually really fast on the outside lane if all the trucks are single filed. That might not be the case anymore, though. They changed these aero packages quite a bit, so that might not still be the case, but you can see the outside line's working pretty well for these guys running up front, at least.
Yeah, and even
Here
more.
they come. Oh, they made it that time.
Dropping down to that inside line, you got Brandon Eastman and Eric Stoy. So, man, those two working heck of a good job together here today, as we're now going to be coming in under. Oh boy, is Kevin Winker getting a little loose behind the blue truck of Zach Staton. We're coming now under 10 laps to go, and again, Eastman pretty much has this championship all locked up just about. The only question is who's going to win the race here today. And I mean, you can roll a dice, and pretty much any of these 5 cars that are up here could win this thing.
I love shooting dice. That's awesome. Great analogy. It really is. Dice game is just kind of like a NASCAR race at Talladega.
The 39 of Eastman's got great help in Stoy. They've worked together great all night. Cody Staton right there behind him, and Winker in the 42. Just trying to help people out now. I think he knows that since he had to tow, that just really killed his night, killed his chance at a championship. But as we wind down now here, only about 6 laps to go, 7 laps to go. Winker's not giving up. He's staying out there. He's staying racing. He's not like a lot of these guys we see in other leagues that, oh man, I'm a lap down, 2 laps down, I'm just going to quit, and he's out there racing because he enjoys it, I think.
Oh, you can definitely see that, as Cody Staton is, all these guys, they're still fighting to win the race. They realize that, their championship might be out the window, but, this being out of this year, the only race that's been officially sponsored for this specific race, coming away and being like, yeah, I won that EMD 200. That's some bragging rights.
Yeah, if Eastman can do it with the logo, with EMD Printing's logo on the truck, how cool would that be?
Yeah, not only that's cool, but what about the 15% off if you go check out the website and mention you watch this race, you're a part of this league or whatever, they're going to work with you on the price, get you 15% off as we're watching this thing take down.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out their Facebook page or their web page, please go check them out. They came on as a sponsor quite a few days ago, and they have big hopes for this, and they really produce quality products. And man, when you can buy stuff that's made in Florida, right here in the United States, and the kind of customer service that small businesses have. They're going to work with you. You know, they're going to try to make you happy, because a happy customer is a repeat customer. So go check them out. Go check out EMD Printing. Man, look at the 15 getting pushed by the 42. These guys are some men on a mission here. Whoa, a little wiggle there from the 42.
A little bit, as these guys keep drifting a little closer and closer, trying to maybe start to take a peek outside that window to see how close they can get without touching.
How much of this is fatigue, though? Because if you're like the 88 right now, we've seen it before. You don't want to push the pusher, right? We see it with Ricky Stenhouse probably every week. But if you try to push the pusher in that situation, it's not going to be good for anybody. But how much of the wiggling side to side is like mental fatigue, just from, because this is stressful, folks. It's not easy.
Oh no! As the caution comes out.
Ew. What happened there?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You know, it's such a huge track. We can't watch every single thing at once.
Let's see. Just kind of click through the field. Oh, who's that? Is that Gregory Turner?
Yeah, it looks like the front end is a little banged up.
Looks like the 33 and Gregory Turner get into it, in the 69 of Lil Rimmer getting spun around. He's looks like he'll be able to make it down to pit road under his own power, but
he just blew his engine. Gregory Turner did, as you said.
He's towing.
Man, they make these trucks more fragile these days.
Well, look, guys, look what we're going to have, though. We're going to have a shootout here. So now what do you do? If you're running up front, you're staying up front. I don't foresee anybody trying to come down for tires. Did the 42?
Well, I think Kevin Winkers
unlap himself.
He didn't unlap himself, but he's going to get a lap back, I think, on this deal.
No, he was not the lucky dog.
No.
So unfortunately for Kevin Winker there, unless everybody comes down, in front of him here,
it was Alcabello. I'm sorry, bud. I'm talking over you.
Yeah, he's unfortunately the caution that he wanted, and he was so close to that position to make up those 2 laps in one. Just not quite able to get there, as these guys start to check up and fall behind this pace car for gonna have an attempt at a green-white checker here, and I think we have 2 or 3.
I believe we have 3 here.
I think so. We'll see here shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry if I was talking over you there a little bit, Brown. I just get so excited at these super speedway tracks, and now we're starting to kind of see guys fighting for lucky dogs and stuff here towards the end, because it really does matter for guys like Kevin Winker. If I talk too much, you can always mute me. So
sometimes I'd like to. I mean, I can hear only so much about Louisiana, it just goes on and on and on.
Say anything about our bad education system today?
I don't know. I love hearing your voice, actually. It's amazing.
Oh, that's not awkward at all.
Right. But what I like to hear is Brown calling the finish of a green-white checker more than your voice, and I know what Brown's gonna tell us here at the end, and I've already started. So
I've written it down about the helmet and the throwing dishes and all that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love it.
As Cody Staton's going to be the leader when we take this thing back to the green flag. Brandon Eastman will be there on that outside front row, so he is definitely still in the mix to make something happen. The problem is Eric Stoy, who's been helping him out all race long, they're not going to be starting on that same line, so maybe look to see some zigzaggy moves here at this restart to kind of get these guys back together.
So it's not over for Winker. I mean, if they do get, he is now in lucky dog position. So if they do get something going on here, and he can get that lap back, oh man, Yahtzee, he's back on the lead lap, and anything can happen then.
Yeah, it can. He's fighting an uphill battle, that's for sure.
That he is, as he is now only, looks like 1 lap down on my timing, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, mine as well. I mean, the magic of iRacing, computers, whatever. Did they give him a wave around? I think they may have.
You know, they may have. So one more caution, and Kevin Winker can throw his name right back into this. And, you know, anything can happen coming down to the line. You can be in first, but then some shenanigans happens. Next thing you know, you're looking at 15th.
Yeah, like I say, chump to champ, champ to chump. This is the league for it. I mean, I think if I got in here in this league, I'm not lying. I'm terrible at this, but I think I could hang with the crowd and maybe get a couple podium finishes or something. It's really good racing, and it just super speedway. You know, it's leveling the playing field, like English says, and it makes it fun to the competitors. Anybody can win any given race, and these trucks are really fun to drive. So, and it's entertaining to watch, as we've kind of seen that throughout the season.
And so that pace car leads us off down this back straightaway, leading us to our first attempt at a green-white checkered. For those of you that may not 100% follow NASCAR or racing in general, just green-white checkers is we'll take 1 lap under green flag. The next lap will be the white flag lap. If anything happens between the green flag and the white flag, there will be a yellow. But once when we take that white flag, it is all game on, and anything can happen because that will be the last flag other than the checker flag to fly. So it's all about making it to that line to take that white flag to kind of finish this one under green.
And speaking of that, pace car, is that the non-binary pace car, or what do we have up there, Brown? I can't even tell.
The nondescript.
That's the make, model, fluid pace car that iRacing put out that didn't resemble anything else.
Okay, gender fluid pace car, got it. But we're on this last 8,000 yards for the front stretch. Let's get this thing done.
Yeah, let's do it. I know these fans are all ready, these drivers are all ready, and all of you watching are all ready. So it is time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, and throw inhibition out the window, because it is time to go racing. Cody Staton, Brandon Eastman starting us off there on that front row. You got Eric Stoy and Zachary Staton there on that second row, and it almost needs Zach and Eric to flip-flop positions, but away we go. Green flags waving. Clean start here up at the front. Looks like that inside line maybe got a little bit better of a jump. I don't see a gap opening up for Brandon to sneak down right in front of Stoy, so maybe it's now that it's go time, it's friendships are kind of out the window unless it's an absolute need to pick up a win here. So we can also see Zachary Staton trying to push as Cody Staton jumps up into that front line right in front of Brandon just before that window closed. You can see a third line trying to form back here. You got, I think that's Altabello trying to make something happen there on that outside line. He's got no help whatsoever as Kevin Winker's kind of fading off towards the distance in the back there. But we're going to come here and across the white line, or the line for the white flag, excuse me. So this is it, folks. This is the final lap of the season. Anything goes. Who's going to win this final race? Brandon Eastman's trying to push Cody up there in front of Eric, man. Eric,
we'll get the 4 down into the 33.
As we got wrecking going on behind these guys.
Staying green, though.
but this is it. Nothing's gonna happen other than coming across to that checkered flag. Eric Stoy having a great push from Joshua Moore, who's kind of come back up from a little earlier incident there with Winker, coming through turn 4 for the final time, entering this trial as we all scatter around. Cars going everywhere. And across the line is gonna be the 51 of Joshua Morris. The 28 gets all out of sorts, and man, oh man,
Eastman has to finish here. Oh no!
The big one.
His engine done quit.
Oh, he's got to push that clutch in. He's barely rolling, and he will make it.
Buddy, how stressful was that?
Oh, that was crazy. The ending of these races
like that.
Look at this guy, Joshua Moore, just stuck it out and finished this thing off. Rob Chowdhury, and we've talked to him before, Henry Wyndham, man, that was awesome.
Great win, Josh Moore, man. Dr. Pepper Racing, 51 truck. Good job.
And then you got Bay Area Rob Chowdhury getting the second place, and Henry Wyndham up 7 spots to finish there in third, completely sideways. Holy smokes! I honestly can't think of a better way to end this season off, boys. What about you?
No kid, man. A great finish to a great season. Greg Turner saying on Facebook, "It's time for the Let's Go Brandon" chant in the in the stands, and I'm sure that refers to the Xfinity race we saw the other night. I'm not sure that's what they were saying.
Yeah, no, they definitely weren't. But if I look at the iRacing standings, well, I'm seeing a little bit different than I'm seeing on my SDK. So, hey, but Joshua Moore has still made it into first place.
Yeah, what a great finish. And Richie West on Facebook, thanks for watching. Also pulling for Eric Stoy. Man, what a wild finish that was. Brandon Eastman does it, man. He pulls it off, wins this championship with the race sponsor on his car, on his truck. I'm sorry. How cool is that? EMD branding.
$140 in his pocket as well.
So let's
very cool.
Let's go ahead and start pulling some drivers for some interviews here. We're gonna first go to good old Bay Area Rob, finishing here in second. Let's try to get him down in here. Hey Rob, you got a copy?
Oh, before we wait, P2, you got a copy on us, bud? He may have stepped away.
Yeah, it's a longer race than these guys are used to. You may have had to make a sandwich or something. Not sure.
All right.
He might not have a Gatorade bottle with him like I do sometimes.
All right, so we'll come back to him. Let's see who else. Trying to look at the names here. I think we'll just go to our race winner, Mr. Joshua Moore, because I do not see Henry Wyndham in the chat currently. Hey, Josh, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Dude, congratulations picking up the win here in the final race of the season. Unfortunately, not enough to get a championship, but man, talk about a close ending to what was, in my opinion, probably y'all's best race of the season.
Oh, man, this feels so good to finally get a win. Finally got a podium last week, and finally got the win today.
We sure enjoyed watching you and your Dr. Pepper teammates run up through the field, and y'all were so clean and helping one another, and we saw it all night. And congrats on the win. Is there any shout outs you want to give or anything while you're on?
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Hear anything.
Looks like he's locked up. Josh, you got a copy?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I think he might have.
we got the technical difficulties. It
Oh,
happens
something
here.
We'll try again here in a minute, Josh.
Yeah, either way, it's a heck of a run by him.
Okay, he started in second. I mean, he started
Yeah, but I mean,
on the front row.
how crazy did that look in his rear view?
I'm sure it
Can
looked
you hear me
great.
now?
Yeah, we
we
got,
got
you,
you.
bud.
All right, I've been having mic problems all month.
No worries, man.
Oh, that's all good. We were just talking about how wild did that look behind you as you're finishing that race off, because there was a lot of action going on back there.
Yeah, I saw a Soy go up in front of me, and I didn't know what to do, so I just stuck in my lane and kept going.
Well, hey, that's a good building block for next season. Congratulations on the win. You got any shout outs or anybody you want to just say hi to?
I want to thank my teammates. Thank Kevin. I feel so bad for wrecking Kevin though on the pit exit. And Tim got third place. Good. I'm glad he did it. Been great working with Kevin. I want to thank Newburger Custom Homes on the car relay. They're going to help sponsor next season too.
That's
and
awesome.
then I want to thank my parents for watching every race.
Yeah, Joel Moore has been talking to us on YouTube, really pulling for you. So you got some supporters out there for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations picking up the win here. Final race of the season, and man, it's probably going to be the sweetest one, at least until next season, and you guys get back running. So until the next season, man, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, and man, great job.
Thanks. Great job with the broadcasting, by the way.
Appreciate you, brother.
So before we head up to our championship winner here, let's try Mr. Bay Area Rob one more time. Hey Rob, you got a copy?
He gone.
Yeah.
Something happened there.
I think he's trying to share something or something like that. I don't know.
Tim Rivers was your third place in the race, according to iRacing. If you wanted to talk to him before we got to our champion.
Sure. Let's get to Tim Rivers in then, because hey Tim, you got a copy?
Tim Rivers, it's the broadcast crew. You got a copy on us, bud?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, there he is.
There he is. Congratulations here. You picked up on iRacing side. You picked up a third place finisher there in such a crazy ending. And I mean, man, we've seen some great racing out of y'all week in, week out. And I mean, this was probably the best race y'all had, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It was. We was having so much fun. Everybody was clean tonight. Everybody was, doing what they needed to do, and it was a fun race. And it got a little crazy there. I guess coming to the finish line there, it looked like my truck kind of took a little ride there and scratched my paint. And I was kind of upset about that, but it is what it is.
Well, you and your Dr. Pepper teammates really put on a show tonight. Y'all did a lot of running in that high line. Was that kind of where y'all wanted to be, or just where you ended up? I know a lot of people love the high line. I'm not one of those guys, but y'all made it work quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, it's just something that was there, and Kevin said, let's go up there. So me and Josh just kind of tucked in behind him, and we went right up to the front there and rode around there for several laps, 3 wide, and everybody was patient and held their line, and it was a fun race right doing that. So it made it really interesting there. Kind of sketchy, but it was fun.
Awesome. Hey, you want to give a shout out or anything like that? I saw you had the Georgia Bulldogs on your truck there, but congratulations. Anything you want to say to anybody, anything like that?
Yeah, I want to say congratulations to Brandon and Kevin. I mean, they ran a great season, everything else. Kind of wish Kevin got up there and won the championship, but things just kind of happened that didn't, go his way and everything else. But yeah, for the whole league and even Greg putting on this league for us and everything else, man, and you guys broadcasting, it's great, and I can't wait for next season to start up and everything so we can go back after it again.
Amen. We're enjoying it too.
Awesome, man. Well, until the next season, we wish you nothing but the best of luck and look forward to seeing y'all again, man.
All right, I greatly appreciate you guys and everything you do for us.
And it looks like we are now joined by Mr. Bay Area Rob in that 408 truck. Rob, how you doing tonight, man?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? Nice to finally talk to you guys. Last race of the year, and first time I get to talk to you guys. So nice way to go out.
Yeah, man. You looked like you ran a pretty good race up there. It looked like you were trying to get that outside lurk, working with Kevin Winker, kind of like in the middle of the run there as well. And man, we've said this to like just about everybody that we've talked to so far, and that's been what a way to go out. This track, this race, man, best one of the season by far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so many green flag runs. I mean, I did like 15 races at Talladega last week, in the official series, and they were just caution fests, right? And coming here after dealing with that, I mean, it's just a breath of fresh air. I mean, it was probably one of the most enjoyable races that I've had, on iRacing in the couple months that I've been on.
It's been one of the most enjoyable to watch. I mean, you could say that about every one of you guys' races, though, because you guys race well together.
I apologize. I think you cut out a little bit there, Alan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bud. I was just saying how much we enjoyed watching it.
You guys hear me?
And how exciting it is. I
Yeah,
think
we
may not be able to hear
You guys
us.
can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, Rob.
Yeah, we have technical difficulties all the time.
You guys
It's a
hear me?
bad night for you.
Yeah,
Yes,
we-
sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear us?
yeah, a little.
Bueller.
Yeah, a couple
Bueller.
issues. Let's get to the. I wish
Hello?
we could
We had
talk
to
to
pull.
Rob.
We had to pull a.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Sorry. I think I'm too glad my internet didn't go out during the race, and it's going out after the race.
Yeah. No, we hear you, bud.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you guys, but
Yeah.
Go ahead,
But,
English.
I was just saying, we really enjoy watching you guys' league. Y'all really have the formula down. Is there any shout outs or anything you want to give, or you want to talk about next season, or the floor is yours, bud.
Yeah, I mean, just want to shout out to my wife, Sobia, and my two daughters, Jenna and Ava, giving me the time. I'm on the West Coast, so, they're still awake at this hour. So, giving me the time to, spend some time and race with these guys, shout out to them. And then shout out to Greg for putting on a great show. It's definitely the most enjoyable group of guys that I've been with in my short time on iRacing. So, looking forward to keeping it going for many more seasons, hopefully.
Yeah, well, congratulations. If you've only been on iRacing a couple months, like you said, or however long, I mean, you're position 2 in a really damn good league. So, wow, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks so much. Really appreciate it, guys. I enjoy listening to all your broadcasts, too, over the years. So keep up the good work.
I appreciate it, man.
Awesome, man. Well, as this season comes to a close, we can't wait for the next one, and look forward to seeing what you're going to be able to do, man. We'll catch you on the next one.
For sure. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Ready? Let's pull our champion in, man.
Time to pull
Beastman.
in the champion, and that would be Mr. Brandon Eastman. Getting a little sideways across the line, but you know what? It will be good enough coming away here as the season champion. Brandon, congratulations.
I appreciate it. I didn't want to end it that way, but I was trying to push Cody to the lead and for the win, but he kind of got a little high and I kind of got a little low. I hated wrecking him at the end.
And we were cheering for you because we saw that. It's like, man, he's got to cross the line. Come on, man! And it looks like you were dying. You about had your foot out the door, trying to Flintstone your way across the finish line.
I felt like Ricky Bobby there, trying to get across that line.
Yeah, you would have jumped out and ran if you had to. Cause
I would have. I was going about 8 miles an hour, and I'm like, don't die yet.
But EMD printing on your truck tonight, and they were the sponsor of this race, sponsor of your truck, and how good does it feel to win a championship? Not just a championship on your own, but a championship carrying the name of the race sponsor. That's got to be a little bit of extra special.
Yeah, I got to give EMD Print a shout out. Any printing needs y'all need, contact them. Website on there, the Facebook. I was glad we could get them we got them a win the last 2 races. We put them on the truck, and that was cool. And then be able to seal up the championship. I was going to have them on the truck for this one because we were 2 for 2 for winning. So I was hoping to pull another one out, but we weren't quite able to do it. But go check them out, EMD Printing, and send them some business.
Yeah, it was great to have them on board. But let me ask you a personal question: what are you gonna do with that money, man? You won the money. Congratulations. What do you think you're gonna go to Disneyland? I'm probably not on that, but I'm sure you can have some fun with it.
That might fill the truck up a couple times.
Hey, in these times, that's good. And you're doing it, having fun, iRacing, you winning some money. Congratulations. Any other shout-outs you want to mention or anything like that?
Just EMD Print, and also give a shout-out to WC Farms. They were on the truck, too, earlier this year, and we had some second-place finishes with them, and then we brought EMD Printing on. So big shout-out to both of them for coming on, and appreciate the help.
Appreciate WC Farms, and Dennis Moore II on Facebook just now posted, congrats to Mr. Eastman from the EMD owner. They were watching you run tonight, and pass on their congratulations. So
Yep.
Great running tonight, and not just tonight, but all season. You've been Mr. Consistency.
Yeah, it started a little sluggish off the beginning, and then the last 4 or 5 races we reeled off some seconds and a couple wins, and I think that's what got me the points lead, which I needed it on that last lap, because if Winker hadn't have been a lap down, I would have been in trouble on that. But
I'd have had your hands full then.
Yeah, that would have been needed a little bit more horsepower getting across that line. But yeah, EMD Print and Dennis Moore, he's the owner with Amy Moore, and I appreciate them watching, and glad we got to seal up the championship with them.
Well, man, congratulations. We look forward to maybe seeing a repeat champion for season number 2, but that's a little ways away, and we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But right now, ride that high, man, and congratulations.
I appreciate it. We're gonna try go back to back.
Woo, doggy boys. That was a good one to end on. Holy smokes.
Yeah, and he's calling his shot for next season, so let's see some action next season.
I can't wait, man.
Awesome race.
Week
And,
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, cool stuff. Good job, boys.
Yeah, indeed. As excuse me while I kind of move my screen around here so I can read the official iRacing one, because the live timing one doesn't give the exact finishing orders for the race. We got Joshua Moore picking up the win here in the final race of the season. He's going to look forward to maybe carry some momentum on into the next one. We saw him do a heck of a job pushing his teammates all season long. So finally being able to get the win here today. Big time for Joshua Moore. You got Bay Area Rob in that 408 picking up a solid P2. And then Tim Rivers finishing here in third. Very, very nice job for him. In fourth, we got Henry Wyndham. Another solid race from him. And then Owen Altabello fighting through all that kind of connection issues and whatnot. Still able to pull out a fifth. So great job from him. You got Zachary Staton here finishing in sixth. Kind of a little sideways across the line and whatnot. But, that's how these plate tracks kind of work some of these times. You got Michael Reynolds. Really wasn't up in that mix too much today, but still a solid 7th place finish for him. You got Stumpy there in 8th. Solid run from him. You got Brandon Eastman picking up the championship and P9 here today. So a solid run for Brandon pretty much all year round to get that championship. So congratulations there, Brandon. And then rounding out that top 10 for today, we got Eric Stoy, who was helping Brandon out just about all day long.
Yeah, Eric Stoy was one of those guys that was like Cody Staton, was running in the front almost the whole race, and then all those shenanigans there on the last lap and last couple of laps actually kicked him all the way, kicked the 15 of Cody Staton all the way down to 11th, but way to finish the race. And the 3 of Brad Mashburn in 12th. I love hearing that guy talk on the radio. 33 of Eddie Murray Special Ed finishing 13th, the first truck 1 lap down. 42 of Kevin Winker. Man, heartbreak for that cat today, as he really did have a shot at locking up this this championship tonight. And the 51 did try to push him around to his pit stall, and it's really hard to push a truck that doesn't have any power, and ended up spinning, and his motor was blown and had to tow. And when you have to tow at a track this big, it's not good. You know, you're going to lose a lot of time. The 69, Little Rimmer, Gregory Turner, 2 laps down, finishing 15th. And your last car that ran tonight, Austin Johnson in the 12, finished 10 laps down in 16th place.
Ooh, doggy dog. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's it for right now with the HCK Beagles. You know, definitely stay tuned and watch out for them if you want to get into some of their racing action. I'm sure they're going to be doing some recruiting and whatnot.
Yep.
Also, you know, if you liked what you've seen this season, man, it's what you can expect, especially just based off of this one final race. That's what you can just about expect every single race here. We got to as well thank Paints by Special Ed all season long. We've seen Eddie Murray helping this league out, and got a big, huge shout out to him. And same thing for EMD Printing. Super thank you for sponsoring this final race coming down the stretch. And you know, it's talk about the perfect race to be a sponsor for, and look forward to maybe seeing you guys sponsor this this show going forward. But you know what? Man, I'm tired. Drivers are tired. I'm sure everyone here is tired. So we're gonna sign off for the night. But man, we appreciate y'all for watching and staying with us, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all again. Have a good one.
We gone.
See ya.